Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, my name is Maritza and I am an elementary school teacher here in the state of North Carolina. And if you're not new, welcome back. Thank you for joining me in my journey and being with me throughout this YouTube experience. I am super excited about today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 things that college did not teach you going into the education field, being in the classroom, and I am so excited to share these with you because even after so many years teaching, there are some surprises every year. So be prepared to learn, or if you even can relate to some of these. So I'm super excited to share this with you. Let's just dive right into it. Okay. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it and talk about these 10 things that college doesn't teach you as a teacher. The first one I have for you is how to apply for a teaching job and actually ace and getting the job. This is one of the things that was not talked a lot about, and there's so much competition out there. Like, the pool of teachers is so big and the selection is so wide that no one really teaches you, at least in college. They don't prepare you or teach you, should I say, for acing or how to apply for a job. The application process varies throughout states, throughout counties, throughout if you're trying to apply for a job overseas, if you're trying to apply for a job within the military connection. There are so many different ways of how to go about applying and actually getting the job. But thankfully, there's a lot of videos recently that I've even discovered that help with the process of applying for a job, interview tips, and just things that really you can take with you to a job application, portfolios, things like that, that are super helpful in applying for a job and getting the job. And that has been my go-to. I just wish in college there was like a class right before exiting the program and going off and teaching. Okay, so number 2 is your time management. Oh guys, I am terrible at my time management. I always end up spending too much time on things, and I have timers and my Apple Watch all the time going off. Like, time management, if I don't have a timer right on me, I'm always passing my time. But it's the least to say that college prepares you for that, because it definitely does not. We don't really talk about time management. We're talking about either classroom management or other areas of managing your classroom in the perspective of like textbooks and curriculum, things like that. Like, it doesn't prepare you for your time management. It gets even harder and harder as the year progresses, because you're having to making sure you're teaching all the standards. You're making sure that you're teaching what's coming up, like if there's any assessments coming up. So your time just gets sucked into this hole, and you're like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? And you have less and less time for the fun things that you want to do or holiday things that you want to do. So I don't think that was talked about a whole lot in college, and it's kind of like a silent thing. Like, it's not really, you don't really talk about your time or how making sure that you're doing things in a reasonable amount of time within your lesson blocks. Okay, number 3 is assessments. Oh my gosh. It wasn't until I got into the classroom did I realize that assessments were big, were a really big deal. I mean, growing up, I was in a public school. For the most part, I was in private school, and we also had our testing within the school. And then when I went to public school, we had some state testing, but I didn't realize the pressure that it really had on teachers and in education, like the whole school all rounded, and how much it stressed kids out. Like, now seeing it from my perspective, I didn't realize how much it stressed the kids out, how much it stresses the teachers out, administration out, special education, you name it. Like, assessments they do not prepare you for that in college, because we don't really talk about that. I remember, like, you don't really talk about it. I'm assuming it's because every state is different, or it's because every school is different. They do things differently. Definitely after being at several different schools did I realize, okay, this school does preparation differently than this school, things like that. So it's different in every school, and definitely in every district, and definitely in every state when you narrow it down. But we don't really talk about it in college, and just the things that you have to do to prepare kids for it, stress relievers, calming them, test taking strategies. I mean, you don't really do that in college. So I wish that I was prepared for that, because it comes down to the nitty gritty at the end of the year, or at the beginning of the year, middle of the year. It's like nonstop all year long. Okay, number 4 is head lice. College does not prepare you for head lice in schools. I know it sounds super weird to talk about it, and just like saying it out loud. When you say the word head lice at school, at an elementary level, I guess even middle school, I've never been to middle school, but in elementary level, you're like, whoa, did you say head lice? Shh, no. Everybody is running away from head lice, and that is definitely not something that they teach you in college. We don't talk about head lice in college. That is just not a topic that comes up. But be prepared for the teacher. Be prepared to get head lice in some way or another throughout your years of teaching, because it happens. On my own personal experience, I've had head lice. Out of my, I think it's almost 8 years teaching, I've had head lice, I want to say 3 times. I think 3 times. It's a total of 3 times. And actually, it's only been at one school, and it was just that 1 year. But it's just so funny how things work. That is just not something they teach you in college, to be prepared for head lice. Okay. So the next thing is number 5 is bulletin boards and classroom decorations. I mean, you name it, and there is some serious competition out there. I mean, if you look on Pinterest, there's some beautiful classrooms, but I wasn't really prepared when I came into the classroom, especially my first year. The factors that took into place, and the money I had to put into my classroom to make it look beautiful, the flexible seating. And then you don't really talk about, I guess that would be another one, but they don't really tell you about like scholarships or grants, or like wish lists that there's money out there for teachers. And sometimes some teachers collect this money and put it into their classrooms, which is phenomenal, but you don't really know about it when you're first coming in. Especially in college, you don't talk about that. So that was really new to me, like all the competition within the halls and their door decoration competitions, things like that. It was a little overwhelming as a teacher coming in new and having no idea about this craziness of you're decorating your classroom or your bulletin board. Some teachers take it really seriously, which is nothing wrong with that. You just you're not prepared for it. So that is something that I wish kind of maybe within our little circle of upcoming teachers, we knew about it and we're kind of prepared for it. Okay, number 6 is lockdown drills. I think nothing in the world can prepare you for this. Even in another work setting, nothing can really prepare you for a lockdown drill. Definitely a real one or a serious one, but getting your students to take it seriously or to understand the seriousness of it is something else. And we don't talk about that in college. We don't talk about fire drills, lockdown drills, tornado drills. And I have been to a couple of schools where there have been real ones. And it is scary, because as a teacher, you're in charge of, 26 little bodies, little humans. And I can only think of, and if you're a mommy like I am, I'm thinking about my own kids that are also in the same situation, perhaps if it's like a tornado drill or something. But it's just a really scary thing. And I don't think anything in the world can prepare you for something like this, because it is not obviously the weather or the criminal act, whatever is going on. Like, nothing can prepare you for it, but you definitely don't even talk about it when you're in college. Like we didn't talk about it at all. Like, that didn't even come up. So it's kind of there in the hidden little fine print that you're gonna possibly have to think of other little human beings to take care of when you're in a situation that you have absolutely no control of. So that's definitely a big one for me, and it's really, really scary to think about it. Okay, so my next one is the heartbreaking stuff. Oh my gosh, all the heartbreaking stuff. Kids, if you are loving and you are listening to your kids and they open up to you, you hear things that you don't want to hear. The good, the bad, the ugly, the sad, the making you want to cry stuff. I mean, it's incredible. But the one that really gets to me is the one that nothing can prepare you for. I mean, even college can't prepare you for it. And it's the moment that you have to call CPS on a family or on a parent. It is so devastating. I don't think that even college can prepare you for it, but you don't really talk about it as well. That's just something that you don't talk about because it's not an everyday thing. Of course, I would hope not, but you don't really have control of it, and it really, really stinks to have to do it. But you have to be strong, very strong-willed, and being able to listen to the kids and paying attention to those little things that they come in with, just things like that. Like it doesn't prepare you. College does not prepare you for it, but definitely is something that you have to keep in mind when you think about kids, all of the other background stuff that has nothing to do with your own classroom. Okay, number 8, my next one is dealing with huge behaviors. I mean, big ones, like the serious ones. I'm not talking about like classroom management, I said no, clip down, or whatever classroom management you use. By the way, I do not use a clip system. But it's those huge behaviors. I personally have not gone through any, like, I would say like serious, huge, out of my control behavior, thankfully. But I have had colleagues who have had out of control behaviors. I mean, like throwing chairs or throwing desks, or I can't even. But these are the huge ones, and college does not prepare you for the huge ones. It prepares you for classroom management, as in techniques like the what do you do, and even then some colleges don't really prepare you for that. But there's no classroom management that can take that serious classroom behavior problem away. And it's very, very unfortunate, and it's a really big struggle. And I mean, that is so difficult, because you don't, as a teacher, there's only so much you can do. To an extent, incentives, you're using the classroom management strategies like the clip chart, or you're using the point system, or your whatever system you're using. And then when nothing works and you've still got this huge big behavior, it is so difficult, and college does not prepare you for that. It's something that you have to deal with at a daily basis, and it's just finding that middle ground to get control of that one child, or if you have multiple ones. Okay, so my next one is avoiding teacher burnout. I mean, this is a really big deal. If you are a teacher and you're going through teacher burnout, don't get there. Like, that is so difficult. I've been there, and it is so hard to get out of teacher burnout, because by then you just feel overwhelmed, like your cup is overfilling of being burnt out. I don't even know if that made sense, but college does not prepare you for teacher burnout, because you don't know how your year is going to be. Like, there's just no way of telling, and there's no way of knowing how or what kind of class you're gonna get, or what kind of school you're gonna get, or it's just so difficult to know how to deal with teacher burnout, and nobody really talks about it. Not until I joined social media did I actually know it was a thing, that it wasn't just me being tired, it was actually teacher burnout. And they don't talk about that in college. There's no books on it. There's no, there's not like a class for it in college. So that is definitely a thing, finding that balance between your teacher life and your social life, like your personal life in general, have to be completely separate, because there is a fine line between it, and that is called teacher burnout. Like, it's a serious thing, and it's so hard and overwhelming, and it has made so many teachers leave education field for good and just say, nope, I'm not going back, I'm done, it's too much. So definitely be prepared for that, and know that college does not teach you that. It's so difficult. And the struggle is real, guys. The struggle is real. Okay, my next one is, my last one is training yourself to use the bathroom once a day sometimes. And this is it's funny in the sense, like, it's funny when you talk about it like amongst other colleagues, but it's truly, it's no joke. Like, they don't tell you you're only going to be able to use the bathroom one time when your students go to lunch, or when your students go to their specials like music or art or whatever it is they go to. And you can't really use the bathroom the rest of the day. Like, it's not until the end of the day, whatever it is. You're really lucky if you have a teacher assistant that constantly comes in, or they like rotates, but you don't really talk about those responsibilities and taking care of yourself in college. It's funny when I say it out loud, but sometimes some years are like that. Thankfully this year I haven't had to hold it in for so long, but there are years where I realize, oh my goodness, I'm only using the bathroom once a day. And you got to train your body for that, I guess, or not drink as much water. I really don't know. I haven't got the handle on that one yet. And then the bonus one I have for you is, drum roll please, is parents. Nobody talks about parents, and this is not a topic in college, because I don't know why. They should have a class for just solely parents, in general, dealing with parents, or how to deal with parents, or like the comments that you need to make to parents, or whatever it is. But nobody tells you about parents. If you have a comment about how to deal with parents, please let me know, because I've been to so many different schools. Being a military wife and, traveling and stuff, I've been to a couple different schools, and it's very interesting, the diversity and the differences between all the schools and different parents. So if you have some advice, share it down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear it. But those are all of my all the 10 things that I have for you, things that they don't teach you in college. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have something you want to share as well, please share it down in the comments below. I'd love to know about what your thoughts are on the things that college did not teach you for. If you are in the education field, or even just in general, what your career is. I'm sure that there are some things that college does not prepare you for, and I'd love for you to share it down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to this video down below, and give this video a big thumbs up. Lets me know you're enjoying the content as well. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!